Hi everyone, Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me for this full all over body yoga practice. So you won't need anything for this, just yourself and your mat, and when you're ready, let's begin. Okay everyone, so let's begin by coming into a comfortable seated position on our mats. I'm going to be cross-legged. If you're in cross-legged, just go ahead and start to feel the sit bones grinding down into the earth. Bring the hands onto the knees or the thighs, close the eyes. Let the shoulders relax. Feel the crown of the head reaching high, sit bones grounded. So we can begin to feel the length of our spine here. Begin to maybe think about drawing your breath in through the tailbone and the breath traveling all the way up through the spine as we exhale, exhaling from crown of the head back to the tailbone. So inhaling, tailbone to crown. Exhale, crown to tailbone. And just continue like this, taking a few deep breaths. Taking one more full round of breath here in your own time. And then after your next exhale, gently opening back up through the eyes and just start to take the shoulders into a few rolls here. So starting to bring the shoulders up towards the ears, send them back, send them down. Not doing anything really fancy, just rolling out the shoulders to bring a little bit of movement and mobility in through the shoulders and the tops of the arms. And then coming back to center, drop the shoulders, drop the hands down either side of your hips, and as we inhale, go ahead and reach the fingers all the way up towards the sky, bring the palms together, and exhale, hands down through heart center. Again, we take a nice big inhale, sweep the hands all the way up to the sky, stretching the waist, and exhale, hands through center. One more time, big inhale, reaching up, looking up towards the sky, and exhale, hands down through center. Go ahead and bring the hands onto the knees. We're just going to check in with our neck here. So keep the spine nice and lifted, keep the shoulders relaxed and away from the ears, and then go ahead and take the right ear towards the right shoulder. So the only thing moving here at the moment is the head. We just let the head hang heavy, start to feel a big opening through the left hand side of the neck. Maybe begin to take the left fingertips onto the floor, maybe walking them out a little bit further. Maybe letting the fingertips lift off the floor. Reaching that left arm away. The more we reach into the left arm, the bigger stretch we're going to feel through the neck. So just breathe here. Breathe into the neck, the shoulder blade, the upper arm. And then release the left hand back to the knee, pick the head back up through center. Take a few more rolls through the shoulders. Notice how one side might feel a little bit longer than the other. And then come back to stillness. Same thing, other side. We're just going to release the left ear towards the left shoulder. Let the head hang heavy. Keep the shoulders soft, the spine long. Breathing here into the right hand side of your neck. Maybe even release the right fingertips to the floor. We might start to walk the fingertips a little bit further away from the body. Maybe even let them come off the floor slightly. And find length through that right arm. So reach the fingertips away, stretching the neck. Take a few deep breaths here. And then after your next exhale, release the hand, bring the head back up through center, and just take a few little half neck circles here. So just rolling one ear to one shoulder and then across the other side. Just working out any tension or tightness in the neck. And then eventually find yourself coming back to center, picking up the gaze. And if you are in cross-legged, go ahead and change the cross of your legs. So whichever leg was in front or on top of is now going to be the other way around. So we're just switching it up a little bit, changing the cross of the legs, and then bring the hands onto your knees. We're going to take some seated cat-cows here. So as we inhale, we want to think about bringing the chest forward, rolling those shoulders back, and creating a little bit of a dip in your lower back. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the chin into the chest. We're going to really round out through the shoulder blades and straighten the arms. So every inhale, we're rolling our spine forwards, maybe looking up, opening the chest. Every exhale, chin to chest, we round out through the spine. Inhale to roll forwards, and exhaling to roll under. Take this in your own time. Just moving the spine here, starting to waken up the back of the body. Starting to feel stretching through the hips, through the shoulder blades, the entire length of the spine. Take one more full round of breath in your own time, and then meet me back in center. Let the crown of the head reach up high, so we once again find that length in through the spine. And let's take a little seated twist here. So we're going to bring the right hand onto the left knee. We're going to bring the left hand out behind the hips. As we inhale, we're going to sit tall. As we exhale, we're going to twist our chest round towards the left hand side of the room. So we're twisting from our belly button here. We're keeping our spine long. Maybe gazing out to the side of the room, or to intensify, maybe starting to look out over that back shoulder. Take one more inhale, one more exhale. And then slowly release, but keep the right hand on the knee, and go ahead and bring the left hand onto the right knee. So we're in a little crisscross position here. We're going to tuck the chin into the chest. We're going to think about rounding out the back and really pressing out through the back of the shoulder blades. So we get this nice big stretch in the upper back. Think about pulling your tummy button back towards your spine, stretching that little space right in the middle of the shoulder blades. Take one more big breath here. And then come back to center. Keep the left hand on the right knee, and go ahead and bring the right hand out and behind your hips. Inhaling to sit tall. Exhaling to find that little twist. So again, imagine like you are opening your heart out to the right hand side of the room. Maybe the gaze is to the side, maybe we start to look over the back shoulder. But we keep the belly soft, we keep the spine long, the sit bones grounded. Take one more full round of breath. And then release all the way back to center. Bring the hands out in front, and nice and slowly rock yourself forward and meet me on your hands and your knees. So coming into our tabletop position here, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's just flow through some cat-cow. So inhale to look forward, drop the belly. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button towards the spine. Inhale, we roll forward, open the chest, tailbone points up. Exhale, chin to chest, tailbone rounds down. Nice. Continue on just like this. Inhaling forwards, exhaling back. Maybe thinking about bringing a bigger range of motion into your spine. Maybe really exaggerating both of these movements. Stretching out the entire back. And then the next time that we inhale into our cow pose, we're going to stop here and we're just going to hold for a few breaths. Think about really pressing into the palms of the hands. Think about rolling the shoulders back so that our chest broadens, pointing the tailbone up. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then as you next exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, find your cat back. So from here, we're really strong through the arms, pressing into the palms, pulling the navel back towards the spine. And again, think about stretching out that space right in between the shoulder blades. Let the head hang heavy. Take 1 more breath here. And then after your next exhale, come back to center, toes together, knees apart, meet me in a child's pose. So send the bum back, stretch the arms out long, take the forehead down towards the mat. Take a few deep breaths here, releasing the chest towards the floor. If it feels good, you might lift the elbows off the mat, maybe walk the fingertips a little bit further forwards, just to get that big stretch out through the back, creating as much length as we can in the body. And then after your next full exhale, we can release, press ourselves up and meet me back in your tabletop. So back onto hands and knees. We're going to bring ourselves up for a downward dog. Spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes under. Start to lift the hips high, send them back. Downward facing dog. You find your version. Maybe find a little bit of movement if that feels good. So we might walk the dog out here, pedaling out through the feet, bending each knee. And breathing here, stretching the hamstrings. And then come back to stillness. Whether the knees are bent or straight, it doesn't matter. Think about pressing firmly into the palms of the hands. No tension in the neck, so the head is hanging heavy, gaze towards the toes. Take 1 more full, deep round of breath. And then take a nice deep bend through the knees. Take the gaze up towards the hands, and then you can step or hop all the way up towards the hands. Meet me in a forward fold with the knees bent or straight, just dangling the upper body down over the legs here. Maybe taking the feet as wide as your hips, taking hold of opposite elbow, and we might find a little rock side to side. Let the spine relax. Let the head relax. And then come back to center, release the arms and press yourself all the way up and all the way into standing. Nice. From the top of your mat, we're going to bring big toes together to touch. We're going to keep the knees and the hips facing forwards. Bring the hands onto the hips. Take a nice big inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to start to bend through the knees. We're going to find our chair pose here. So we're going to keep the soles of the feet grounded. Keep the chest nice and open, shoulders rolling back. Maybe reach the fingertips up towards the sky, bringing the inner arms alongside the ears. The spine is long, the thighs are switched on here. Maybe sit just a little bit lower for one big inhale and exhale. And then bring the hands together in front of the chest. We're going to keep the left knee bent and we're going to step the right leg all the way back into your warrior ones. The back toes are on a little bit of an angle. We keep that bend through the front knee and go ahead and reach both hands up towards the sky. Warrior one, staying strong through the legs. Fingertips reaching high. Take one big inhale, and as we exhale, release the hands down behind the back, interlink the fingers, roll the shoulders open and find a nice big expansion through the chest. Holding here, keeping that bend through the front knee. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. To go a little bit further, we're going to start to hinge the body forward, bring the left shoulder towards the left knee, release the head towards the floor and reach the hands up. Taking one more full round of breath. And then release yourself all the way back up into your full warrior one. Reach the fingertips high. Take one more breath here. And then release the hands down together in front of the chest. Pivot on the back toes so that we come into our high lunge. And then bring both hands down to frame the front foot. We're going to keep the right hand on the floor and we're going to inhale to reach the left hand all the way up towards the sky, stacking the left shoulder on top of the right, sinking the hips low, breathing deeply. And then releasing the left hand all the way back to the mat. We're going to step back into our downward facing dog. So release the left foot back to meet the right. Find your downward facing dog. Either finding stillness or finding movement, whichever your body is craving for at this moment. If you would rather bring yourself down for a few breaths into a child's pose, we can bring the knees to the floor, sit the bum back, and rest the forehead here. But whichever position you're in, just take a few deep breaths, reset. If you are in your child's pose, go ahead and lift yourself to all fours, tuck the toes under and meet us in a downward facing dog. And then once you're in your downward facing dog, take a nice deep bend through the knees, gaze up towards the hands, and then step or hop up in between the hands. And from here, we're going to find our chair position. So toes come together, keep a deep bend through the knees. Let's send the hands high, keep the hips low. So it's almost like we're sitting back and down into our chair. Fingertips are reaching up, arms coming alongside the ears. Maybe sit just a little bit lower here for one big inhale. And exhale. And then bring the hands together in front of your chest. Take your gaze down towards your feet for balance. And this time we're going to be stepping the left foot back. So keep the bend through the right knee. Step the left foot back into your warrior one legs. So the back toe is on a little bit of an angle. Hips are facing forwards, the chest is open. Keeping that bend through the front knee, we inhale to reach the hands up towards the sky. Staying strong in the legs, open in the chest. Take one big inhale. And as we exhale, release the hands down behind the back. Interlink the fingers and roll the shoulders open, finding your chest expansion on this side. You might choose to stay here, or maybe we begin to hinge forward, right shoulder towards the right knee, release the hands up, let the head hang heavy. Take a few deep breaths here. And then after your exhale, release yourselves all the way back up. We can release the hands, bring the hands all the way back up into our full warrior one. Take one more breath here. And then bring the hands down in front of the chest. We're going to pivot on the back toes so that we come into our high lunge. Again, we might reach the fingertips up towards the sky, take a nice big inhale, and then exhale. We're going to bring the hands down to frame the right foot. We're going to find our twist on this side. So the left hand stays grounded. We inhale, reach the right hand up. It's almost like we were trying to make one big long line here with the arms, stacking the shoulders, keeping the hips low. Taking one more breath. And then bringing that right hand back to the floor. We're going to step the right foot back. Meet me in a downward facing dog for one big inhale. One full exhale. And then release the knees back to the mat. You can keep the legs together, or you can take the knees wide, toes together. Send the bum back and walk the arms forward. Release the forehead and take a few deep breaths. Slowing everything down. Letting your heart rate slow down and the breath slow down. Giving the body just a moment to relax and reset. And then after your exhale, lifting the gaze, walking the hands back towards the knees. And from here, we're going to release the legs out long in front of us, bring ourselves onto our bums. We're going to keep the soles of the feet on the floor with the knees bent up. And you can either have your feet quite close together, or if it feels better, you can have them as wide as the hips or maybe a little bit wider. But just bring the hands onto the floor behind you, and we're just going to find a little windshield wiper with the knees side to side. Just releasing any tension from the lower back, from the hips. And then maybe as the knees fall one way, we might start to send the gaze over the opposite shoulder. So we're just bringing a little bit of a twist in through the spine. And then come back to center. Bring the feet into your butterfly position. So soles of the feet together, knees are open. The feet can be as close into the body as you wish. Take your hands to wherever you can get them, whether it's the ankles or the feet or the thighs. And we're going to find a little forward fold. So inhale to sit up nice and tall, gaining that length in through the spine. And then as we exhale, we bring ourselves forward. Almost like we were trying to bring our chest down towards the feet. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Opening up the hips and the inner thighs. Just one more breath here. And then lift the upper body up. Take the legs back onto the soles of the feet. And then just go ahead and lower yourself all the way down to your mat. So we're coming to lie down on our backs. When we get there, we bring both knees in towards the chest. Just find a little rock side to side. Just gently massaging out the lower back, maybe the shoulder blades. Rocking yourself back to center, and then bringing soles of the feet down onto the floor. We're going to find a spinal twist here. So we're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest. You can keep the sole of the right foot on the floor with the knee bent, or if you want a deeper twist, you're going to send that right leg out nice and long across the floor. But either way, we're going to hug the left knee in towards the chest. Take an inhale. As we exhale, send the knee across the side of the body. We can open our left arm out towards the side here. And we're aiming to try to keep the shoulder blades connected to the mat. It doesn't matter how far the knee comes across, we just let it fall. Maybe we send our gaze out over the left shoulder. Take a full round of breath. And then come back to center. Bring yourself all the way back, gaze towards the sky. And then we're going to switch sides. So hug the right knee in towards the chest. Either bring the left leg where the knee is bent, or straighten it out along the floor. Hug the right knee in, take an inhale, exhale, send that knee across the body towards the left hand side. Maybe open the right arm out along the floor. And again, we're aiming to try to keep the shoulder blades on the mat. And maybe your right shoulder blade is going to try to lift a little bit, and that's okay. But we're twisting here from the center of the spine. Maybe we send our gaze out towards the right hand side, maybe looking towards the fingertips. A full round of breath here. And then coming back to center, bringing both knees in towards the chest. Either keep them here, finding one more little rock side to side, or maybe we flex the feet, bring the knees towards the armpits and find our happy baby. Maybe find a rock side to side here, so we're reaching either towards the feet or the ankles. We're drawing the knees open and down. And then come back into center, drop the feet, bring the soles of the feet together to touch and let the knees open out towards the side. You can bring hands either alongside the body or onto the belly. Close the eyes. And let the breath soften here. Let the breath begin to calm down. Notice the movement in the belly as we inhale and exhale. Notice the rise and fall of the chest. And at this moment, give yourself permission to let go of anything that you no longer wish to take into the rest of your day. Anything that may be holding you back. Anything that may be making you think of any anxious thoughts, any worries or fears. Giving yourself permission to let it go. And deepen your breath here. And if you have time, I encourage you to maybe pause this video, maybe stay here for a few extra moments. But if you have to get on with the rest of your day, you can begin to release the hands, gently draw the knees back together. And then maybe begin to think about bringing yourself onto one side and eventually up into a comfortable seated position on your mat. And thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me for this yoga practice. I hope you are feeling good, and I hope to see you again soon. As always, have a great rest of your day. Namaste.